Hi, I'm Krista Benhart, your student's math teacher. Christina Spring also co-teaches with me during third hour. Pre-algebra students will be using the Utah Middle School Math Project for their curriculum this year. I have copied notes packets and homework packets for each unit for the kids. If they should forget those at school, they're also distributed in OneNote so they can access them from home. This is an inquiry-based learning curriculum, which means that most of the lessons start with the kids trying to discover the process before I actually directly teach it to them. The topics we're going to cover in pre-algebra this year are solving and analyzing linear equations, proportional and linear relationships. Chapter 3 is representations of a line. Chapter 4 is simultaneous linear equations, which I always use as systems of equations. Chapter 5 is functions. Chapter 7 is rational and irrational numbers. Chapter 8 is integer exponents and 3D measurement. And Chapter 9, if we get there, will be geometry. Algebra students do have a book they're going to be using, Envision Algebra 1. Books have already been distributed. I did tell them that they can keep the books at home because I have also distributed the pages in OneNote. That way they won't have to haul the books back and forth. The topics in algebra are going to be solving equations and inequalities. Unit 2 is more on linear equations. 3 is linear functions, systems of linear equations and inequalities. 5, we're going to look at piecewise functions. Unit 6 is exponents and exponential functions. Unit 7 is polynomials and factoring. Then we're moving on to quadratics with quadratic functions and solving quadratic equations. Unit 10 is working with functions, and then finally Unit 11 is statistics. Homework can always be found in a couple places. The homework website is located on GMS Learn. You just click on the GMSS homework website tab and then 8 blue. I also distribute homework assignments on Teams, so it should be added to their Teams calendar. Grading. Skill work is 20%. Quizzes are 30%. Tests are 50%. Algebra students will have 3 trimester exams. Classwork and homework, those are skill work. That's what I call skill work in the grade book. All of it is due by the unit test. I'll accept it for credit up until the day of the unit test. To receive credit, students must show work. A couple things about IXL. I do assign 2 modules per week for IXL. If your student is practicing for more than 30 minutes, have them stop. We don't want this to be torture. Send me an email and we'll fix the problem together the next day. Students will be issued a working lunch for late homework. If they get the assignment in by 8:30 the next day, then they won't have to serve their working lunch. In the grade book, you'll see that I issue NHIs for work that's not turned in, with the exception of IXL. I'll put in 0 out of 10 because most of the kids have logged in for some portion. It's not that they didn't turn it in, it's that they didn't finish it. If they did one of the modules, you'll see a 5 out of 10. Quizzes and tests. Retakes can be done for both quizzes and tests. Students can earn 100% of their points back on quizzes and are able to earn 85%, an 85% max on tests. In order to qualify for a retake, students need to have all their homework turned in, complete quiz or test corrections and go over them with me, and then schedule the retake with me. Tests, retakes I allow 2 weeks after I return the actual test, and quizzes, retakes I allow up to the test date. The burning question for a lot of 8th grade parents and students is, what about high school recommendations? Well, those will appear on eSchool in January or February, depending on the high school schedule. My recommendations are based on MAP scores and classroom performance. The options for pre-algebra are Algebra 1, which is a 2-semester class, and Algebra 1A, which is a slower pace but same material for 4 semesters. Algebra options are geometry or honors geometry. Students are required by the state of Illinois to pass algebra. If your student does not pass algebra, they will be required to retake it. All of the recommendations are that recommendations. If your family decision is to override my recommendation, you just need to sign the form that the student brings home. Any questions you have, you can contact Mrs. Springer or I. My email is kbenhart@geneva304.org. Her email is cspring@geneva304.org. Any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me. And hopefully we'll have a great year together supporting our kids. Thank you.